So this is the free choice idea. Men are and should be free. They know right from wrong. People make their own choices in life and therefore are responsible for the consequences of those choices. Men have unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is individual responsibility for your own life. You want it, you earn it. Right? Then the other idea is that people are morons. They should not be free. These people will kill themselves. They must be told what to do because by nature man is not good and will not do as he should unless he is forced to do it. Therefore, it is necessary and justified to use force to make people do what is best for them. And we assume the responsibility. We, the superior beings, will decide what's good for these morons, and we will set up everything and make it work. And then they will thank us later. We'll make them take piano and Now, the basic philosophical assumptions that man is and ought to be free or man should be controlled and forced are the two ideas that pervade when we establish governments, when we set up educational institutions, when we set up our homes to parent our children, and we have to borrow from these two philosophies. There aren't any more. Now, most of us fall somewhere in between. We want to give this choice and we want to administer consequences, but as soon as it looks like it's not working, whoop, we jump ship and we go over here and start hauling and swinging and get things back in order, and then we drift back over here. Do you understand? But you only set this up and you make it worse and worse and worse and worse until the kids are run away from home, they hate you, they scream, and there's violence in the home even. Because children that got any spunk are going to rebel against parents who insist on running their lives. And Danny was screaming at me, "It's my life! Leave me alone! If I want to jump off a bridge, I will!" And I was saying, why would anybody want to jump off a bridge? Right over my head. I wasn't getting it. Do you understand? Many people believe that it is the duty of parents to make their children obey, and that parents are justified in forcing their children to do good in all things so that these children will develop good character and be successful in life. Is this how you develop good character? By being forced to be good? Is that how you make decisions? No, it isn't. We're going to have a bunch of robots here. Resentful, stinky robots that are going to bolt as soon as they got a chance. We put these kids out into the world at age 18 and they go upside down. Some people think because it's so important, education is so important, church is so important, marrying the right person is so important, on and on and on, that we will force these kids and we'll make them okay, and they'll thank us later, and we can justify in doing that, and it's the right thing to do. This is not true. This is a lie. And this is the foundation of the basic problems that we face in our country today. That parents have assumed this great lie. I call it the great lie, mission impossible. The parent trap of believing you must control your children to be good parents. When kids are acting up in the neighborhood, you say, those kids are out of what? Control. And now those parents ought to get those kids back in what? Control. And this is what we have been taught. It's even been preached from our pulpits. And it's taught by our government that this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to control things. And a skillful parent will figure out how to get those kids to study. A skillful parent will figure out how to get this boy to get his eagle. A skillful parent, you understand? And you're expected to come up with the miracle to make this kid come out okay and to fix him. And that is hogwash, and they got you by the nose, and it's all downhill from here if you buy into that. And the society makes us feel guilty and points the finger if our kids are having problems in school, blah, blah, blah. I was a teacher. I used to send them home, the child's a reflection of the home. Get on this kid and make him do his homework. Your parents are not doing your job. Oh, I'd lay it on thick. Oh, guilt thing. Okay, we'll try. And they would go home and beat the poor little kid, To be considered a good parent, you are supposed to be in control. Now, those of us who think this, and the kids are running around and not doing this, not doing it, our anxiety goes up. It becomes intolerable. And in order to lower our anxiety, in order to medicate our pain, we jump on this control thing and start controlling. You sit down there, you get that done, and you get that done, blah, blah, blah. And then finally everybody's back in line doing what we're demanding that they do, and our anxiety goes down. And this becomes addictive. Raging and control become an addictive part of our life. We become obsessive controllers to lower our anxiety, to overcome our feelings of guilt, our feelings of inadequacy, our frustration. And this comes over on the kid. Not a healthy situation. People do not want to bond and be close to people that are always hammering them, that are mad at them and criticizing them and treating them like they're idiots. Then we wonder, why don't you love me? We love you. Get in there and do your room, you moron. And this is the way it goes all day long. Kids just saying, enough already. Enough. But see, we invite parents to the seminars, not kids. Who do you think has the problem? I mean, grab a clue. If the kids had the problem, we'd have them in here. The kids are fine. It takes us several years to really screw them up. We have got to straighten out our heads and cast this lie that society has put into our heads, cast it away and come in and put some new thoughts in our head. And you'll never get a change in your behavior or in your home until you change the original. So I'm challenging you. He talked about, I'm in your face guy. I am a guy that gets in your face. I'm saying what you're doing, I want you to look at. I challenge your thinking. I challenge what you're doing. Our control madness. Why do we argue, criticize, nag, yell, worry, and get so angry at our children? Why?
We don't obey.
Yes, watch this. Because we're trying to control them and to get them to see things our way so that they will do what we know is best for them. Is that a true statement? Absolutely. Why are you so upset? Think about why you're angry for a minute. And it's some moron in your life that's not doing what they're supposed to. Is that true? Yeah, you're all nodding yes, it's true. Now, the person who believes that they should control and that they're only good and powerful and strong and doing the right thing when they're in control, they believe that they're in control, they try to control. And sooner or later, when they try to control, a child is what? Non-compliant. Well, this frightens the parent. You get in there and study. You kids get to sleep. Do you hear me? You get to sleep. Don't make me come in there. I'll kill somebody. I'll put you to sleep permanently. No, you get to sleep in there. Can you make kids study? Johnny, sit down and study. Now you open your book and you read. Can you make a kid read? Focus your eyes. Pick up your pencil and do your math. And he picks up his pencil and drops it. I can't hold my pencil. Can you get a kid to go to sleep? I found out you can rock them to sleep. That's the only way. Takes a rock about that big. Okay? And they go right to sleep. All right. So this parent who is into control attempts control and the child is non-compliant. So what does the parent do? The parent attempts tighter controls. A little bit of poison didn't work. Let's try some more. Okay? That didn't work. Now what does the kid do? They're still not going to comply. At some point, they're going to refuse. Stop telling me who I should have as friend. Stop telling me how I should comb my hair. Stop telling. You understand? You guys all hear this? You got teenagers, right? You're grinning at me. All right. So the child refuses at some point to comply. If they've got any spunk, they're going to stand up and say, "This is my life, Mom. Don't tell me what to think. I don't like that music. I like this. No, in our family, we like this. We don't like that. And we like tapioca. Mother, I hate tapioca. It makes me puke. No, we all like tapioca. Eat your tapioca, you little moron. You don't know what's good. Okay? This is our family. We do tapioca. Our ancestors invented tapioca 2,000 years ago. And we do tapioca. How dare you challenge the truth? Now, the child refuses to eat his tapioca, right? And so the parent is now frightened. The parent feels failure. They feel fear. They feel, what is that big word up there? They feel what? Impotent. Because control doesn't work. And sooner or later they're not going to do it and you don't have any power. And you feel impotent. And people who are impotent get mad. Now, stronger methods of control. The child still refuses. Non-compliant. Now the kid's getting defiant. You can't make me. And the dad says, oh yes I can. And he sits on his head. And the dad is raging and intimidating. And as I said, I have met with fathers who have broken ribs. The dad stood there in the door and says, I love you, son. You are not going out with your hoodlum friends tonight. And the kid says, oh, yes, I am. Get out of the way. This dad had broken ribs in my office. And he said, what should I do? I said, you idiot, get out of the way. You know? This kid was like 180 or 90 pounds, but all muscle. And Dad was 180, 90 pounds too. But about 40 of it was in his beer belly, stuck right out here. And that kid went through him like a paper door. And you start to use your physical stuff and demand and control, it's not going to work. And sooner or later, that boy will stand up to you and say, on you, and do what he wants to do. And in fact, they do it earlier, don't they? Can you stop a kid from going out and getting drunk if they want? Can you stop them? If they're bound and determined to do it? If they've got their mind to do it? And they want to go out and try drugs or go to a party? Can they sneak out a window? They used to call me in the middle of the night when Danny would sneak out. And I'd go check his bed and it was empty. So these parents that are into control, try more control, and the child is still non-compliant. Now he's defiant. Now the dad is screaming and raging and is going to enter coercion here, force. I'm going to sit on you. And what does the kid do? Say, okay, I give up. Feelings of resentment, rebellion. And people, this goes worse and worse. More control, more anger, more resentment, more control, more anger, more resentment. There is no way to win on this track. There is no way to win. Do you believe me? It just gets worse and worse. And what program are they using? Are they using this coercive program over here? Or are they using this freedom and choice and consequence program? They're using this one over here because the kid is not complying. And now, this is called the control rebellion rage cycle. It always ends in rage. It always ends in misery. Now, sometimes people are so powerful that they can just make a milquetoast out of a kid and frighten the kid so bad that the kid just does whatever they do, just becomes a mush pile, not a backbone. And we've seen people like this, haven't we? Have you? Have you seen people that are so whipped and that have given up and they just are nothing? It's like they don't have a personality. All they are is an extension of the parent's will or their husband's will or whatever it is. And this is not healthy. This is not what we want. People say, you mean, Mr. Jones, you're preaching give up control of your children? And I'm not preaching give up control of your children. I am saying give up the fantasy that you're in control of your children. And that is a fact as sure as the nose on your face. Again, if you have a son or a daughter that wants to go out and sneak out and do drugs or do pot, you can't stop them. Even if you put bars on the windows, they can figure some way someday to get out. Is that true? Or they can get somebody to bring it to them. If they're bound and determined